But do you think that ever this mystery behind the $21 million be unraveled at all? At what level? Because Amit Malviya, who's the head of the BJP IT cell, he said that, this looks like some doing of the deep state. And in fact, he said that to sustain the deep state, all this thing has been done. And I'm actually looking for what exactly he said. And I'm looking for that quote where he's spoken about how it's all this is happening because of the deep state which is getting active. What do you say? So I mean, what do you have to say on that?
I would not bother about him because he's a paid man and he gets paid for doing this kind of thing. He says most vulgar things also. He does all the dirty jobs that he has to do. He is there doing it. So I don't think that one can attribute anything to him except that he must have been paid to do it. That's all.
Right. But do you think that it could be a deep state hand behind all this USAID funding? And do you think deep state is active? It want it. I mean, what could be the motive if there is a deep state angle to this?
If the Prime Minister of India receives money from United States, then the Americans will be thrilled because they know that this would be illegal for the Indian government, not for the Americans, because the Americans would have done it in professional terms, and that the Prime Minister would be in their hands. There was never an expectation. After all, this couldn't have happened during Trump's time because he was not in power at that time when it came. So it's something that would not normally go out. It turns out that Trump became the President of the United States, and therefore he got to see it. And having got to do it, he is having fun. He has had fun when Mr. Modi went the other day to meet Mr. Trump. The way Trump treated him in the meeting was terrible. I mean, for the Prime Minister being treated as somebody to be, put for a show and not allowed to speak, or here and there being asked to put in a word. I think Mr. Modi has allowed himself to be ill-treated by Mr. Trump. And Trump is doing it because Modi had insulted him earlier when he was not President of the United States. Modi had was going to United Nations to give a speech on behalf of India. And that time he sought for an appointment with then President Biden. And so at that time, it came in the newspaper that the Indian Prime Minister is coming. And the present President of the United States at that time was not anybody. And he made a statement that, oh, he's my friend and he's coming and I'm going to meet him. And Modi contradicted it. He said, no, I'm not going to meet Trump. And it was a big insult for Trump. And I think Trump is enjoying, the revenge that he is getting.
So you are saying that there is a revenge angle, and this is why Trump has done this. But I was talking to you about Amit Malviya's tweet, and which I figured out, and I'm going to quote what exactly he said. He says that a day after US Donald Trump spoke about $21 million being sent to India for voter turnout, he has reiterated the charge. And no, he's not confusing it with the $29 million funneled into Bangladesh. This time, he has also mentioned kickbacks. Now, essentially, this money is also used to sustain the deep state assets who work to defend and deflect such revelations. We are now witnessing the same pattern unfold in India. So now my question to this tweet of Amit Malviya is, Dr. Swamy, to you, that Amit Malviya knows that now the fingers are being pointed directly at Prime Minister Modi. And therefore, the best defense would be to deflect everything to the deep state. And now who's going to investigate the deep state? Obviously, how does one do that? And this is all the picture looks very hazy.
You can ask me to respond to somebody of my status, who has been a minister twice, who has been a 6-time MP, who has been a professor at Harvard, professor at the Indian Institute of Indian Technological Institution, IITs as they are called. I can't be asked to comment on riffraffs of our party. There are riffraffs who do dirty work for a variety of calls, and so what they say doesn't matter. You should go and ask Rajnath. You should go and ask Gadkari. If these people are willing to talk, there is some substance in it.
So now the thing is that once it's a known fact that $21 million has come in, what are the investigative agencies doing? What is the Lokpal doing? What are the courts doing? Can the courts not take a suo motu cognizance into this? Because I was talking to a few lawyers who also pointed out that the court has the powers. Lokpal has the powers to ask the prime minister. But here, in an era of institutional capture, can you really expect the Lokpal to ask some tough questions from Prime Minister Modi? Can you expect the courts to take a suo motu cognizance on this? Because in a way, if you see, this entire issue has sullied the image of the country. That here you have a prime minister who's taking kickbacks or he's taking some kind of a bribe.
Bakshish.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I would
right.
say that all that is a waste of time. I will certainly do a PIL in this. There's no question. I expect I will send a letter to the Prime Minister that these are the facts that have come to my knowledge, and and this is affecting the party, and therefore I'm writing to you. And if he ignores the letter, then I'll have to go to court. And
But how long do you want to wait for the things to unfold? And I mean, how much time would you take to go to the court?
yeah, fighting corruption in India, this is corruption. And fighting corruption in India is always long. I did for 2G, I took a long time, but I got it done. In the same thing with Mr. Chidambaram had to go on for 106 days to jail. His son also has gone to jail. A lot of things have happened. They take time. And I think even the United States, where they are far more active in these matters, it does take time before something comes to a finality. I would certainly say that the Prime Minister should resign right away because instead of like Nixon hanging on till the last moment and then almost being kicked out, it shouldn't happen this way. He should not think that that just because Indians are silent that they don't have opinions. Mrs. Gandhi found out the hard way. In the emergency, people were silent, but when the elections came, they threw her out. So therefore, Mr. Modi has bitten more than he can chew, as they say, and he should himself resign and go and say that till I'm cleared out of this matter, I will not return to politics. That is the way a healthy politics can take place in our country. If we have to drag him to court and then make him go to jail, this kind of thing, is much more damaging to the democratic system itself.
But Dr. Swamy, knowing Prime Minister Modi's character and the trait and the manner in which he operates, do you think he will resign on his own on the basis of morality? That on the moral fiber bit, he shouldn't appear weak. He shouldn't appear as someone who's corrupt. And do you think he's going to resign? And especially when we see that the opposition also has not raised many voices. Maybe they have some chinks in the armor. But the point is, I'm talking about Prime Minister Modi. Will he resign at all on this issue?
Well, the question is, once the people begin to feel that there is something in it, and then he doesn't resign, and then every day there's some howl that he should resign. I don't know whether the Congress party will do it because they themselves are, entangled in a number of scandals and so on. So, but one thing is certain that our party has a uniqueness that we have a group, we have a organization called the RSS. They have enormous moral hold on the party. And if they took a decision that Mr. Modi has to step down, he will have to step down. There's no way he can resist them. That is the uniqueness of the BJP, and I expect that over a period of time, when the RSS gets all the material, they will take an appropriate decision.
Are you also thinking of talking to RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on this bit? Because this has become a national, not only a national issue, but this is an international issue, that the American president gives $21 million to Prime Minister Modi for voter turnout. Now, what do you think has happened as far as the electoral democracy in the country is concerned? Because there have been several voices being raised as to how the voter names were deleted, added. Now, was all this money being used for this kind of a nefarious activity? Which means, can we come to a conclusion that Prime Minister Modi has used that $21 million to rig elections in India?
No, no, we can't come to that conclusion because if there's a prosecution, then Mr. Modi will have to explain where the money has gone, to whom it was given, and by what medium it was given, and that would trap him if he tells a lie. So I wouldn't. As far as the RSS is concerned, they are already very well informed people. Nobody needs to tell them that
Right.
you do something about it. After all, they have put their entire muscle and sweat and everything to make BJP grow into an all India party, and then they've become a party of the government. So I think all I can say is that the RSS would weigh the thing according to their own understanding, and when they move to do something, it will be very decisive. So on that score, you need not worry. But as far as I'm concerned, I certainly would think that it's my duty, having filed so many PILs in the past, that in this case I can't shy away in saying no, he's a member of the same party, so I can't do a case against Modi. I can do it, and I must do it. And I'm under no obligation. I'm not his minister. I'm not his member of parliament. Nothing. I'm a member of the party, and that as a party member, I recall what Winston Churchill did to the then prime minister when he wouldn't take a stand on Hitler. He went campaigning. Nobody said to Winston Churchill that, oh, you're also a member of the Conservative Party. What are you doing? People welcomed it, and ultimately Winston Churchill succeeded him. So therefore, I would say that today the situation is the country wants, the middle class in India is a very powerful group now. It has become large, and they are supportive. They have influence on the media, and so on. All these things put together, I think Modi will find it very, very hard. He cannot brush it aside. He has to explain.
So, one last question before I wind up the interview. There have also been speculations that apparently this $21 million could have gone to the former Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar, along with the Panna Pramukhs who have been involved on the ground to rig elections. Now, how about these reports? Would you just dismiss this as some kind of a grapevine or some kind of a rumor, or does it really have some credence?
No, I would doubt it. I mean, knowing the Indian system as I do, I would find it very, very unusual that Modi gets $21 million and then he gives it to the election commission. The election commission is not supposed to spend money. Election commission is supposed to watch illegal circulation of money. So I would be very surprised if the chief election commissioner got anything out of this.
But Dr. Swamy, you feel that with this proclamation of Donald Trump about $21 million being given to Prime Minister Modi, is the Prime Minister of India really between the devil and the deep sea? I mean, if he speaks, he gets into a trouble. If he doesn't speak, he gets into a bigger trouble.
I would say damned if he does and damned if he doesn't do.
Yeah, in fact, I was just about to use that phrase. Yeah.
Be damned both ways. If he keeps silent, he'll be damned. And if he doesn't keep silent, it'll be maybe less damned, but it'll be damned.
But what's that one piece of advice? I don't know whether Prime Minister Modi at all will break his silence on this, but what would you really advise him as a person who's a member of the BJP? And you said that you are very serious about filing a PIL in the court on this particular issue. If Prime Minister Modi doesn't give a clarification, what is that one piece of advice to Prime Minister Modi on this issue?
In the interest of the party, I would say he should resign and go to the Himalayas, because that's where he came from.
Right. So resign and go back to the Himalayas. That's the advice given by Dr. Subramanian Swamy. So thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.